Hey guys, it's Josh,
And Bryn.
and we are Idaho Prepared, and today we have another gun video for you. So last time we covered defensive weapons,
Right.
and this time what are we going to be covering,
We're
Bryn?
going to talk about purpose-built weapons, and purpose-built weapons are weapons that are built for a specific purpose, and it's usually not defense. What I mean by that is you have shotguns that are built for bird hunting or turkey hunting, or you have bolt guns for large game. You have smaller caliber weapons that are center fire for small game or varmints. You have crossbows. You have other archery equipment. You have things that they're weapons, and I know a lot of people think of sidearms in the sense
Right.
of weapons, but or guns in general, firearms in general as weapons. But there's a lot of different weapon categories, and today we're going to touch on those couple. So to start out, we're going to go with the firearms, and I'm going to talk about the first weapon that I ever got. I actually got handed down from my father. It didn't look quite like this when I got it. This is my Marlin tube-fed 22. It does have a bipod right now. I don't have my optic on it. I've actually taken it off because that optic failed, and I'm looking for a new one for it. But the purpose for this weapon is small varmints. And we raise chickens, and we have from time to time skunks or other varmints that come through. As you can see, just for all the guys out there who are looking, this weapon is cleared. Slide is locked back. Doesn't even have the mag tube in it. This guy right here is a weapon that anybody can operate. It is a very low recoil. The ammunition is dirt cheap for it, and it'll take out just about anything you need. My father used to tell me about some poachers back in southern Oregon, southwestern Oregon, who got caught poaching deer with a 22 rifle. A shot to the head, deer's dead. But you can't legally do that unless you're in a survival situation. The reason I mention that is because if you are in a survival situation or a world without rule of law, then this kind of guy right here will take care of your food needs. A 22 caliber bullet will kill something just as well as any other caliber out there. So keep that in mind when you're looking for a survival weapon. There are plenty of really good 22s out there. The AR-7, it's actually a collapsible pack rifle. There's break barrel 410 22 combos. There's all kinds of really, really good 22s out there. This one is just so happens to be the one that I have, and I will have for a while because, like I said, it was handed down. But that's the 22 rifle. The next one is going to be it's basically a 22 that's souped up. It's the 223-556. It has a 223 caliber rifle. This is my fiance's DMR rifle. As you can see, there's a bipod mount on there. Right now it's on my big game rifle, but she usually runs a bipod on here for the purpose of resting it as a designated marksman's rifle. She likes her scope to sit up a little bit higher. I personally don't set my scopes this high, but she's very accurate with this. She can take this out. I've seen her take this weapon out to 600 yards, no problem. That cartridge is best suited for small to mid-sized game. You can hunt legally in the state of Idaho with a 223-556 because it's a centerfire cartridge. These things do wonders with coyotes, or even if this is all you have to keep predators away from your chickens or your other farm animals. This is a great option. She's running the 18-inch spiral fluted H-bar barrel. And what I mean by the H-bar, to kind of define that, it's a heavy barrel from right here at the gas block all the way to the upper receiver. And then a standard profile all the way to the muzzle. The spiral fluting is not just for looks. The spiral fluting actually does much more. It increases your surface area and allows for a lot better cooling. You guys probably have seen, if you've watched our defensive weapons, you've seen my 10.5-inch pistol that has a M4 profile. It's not a mil-spec because it's 10.5-inch, but it is an M4 profile barrel. I've ran 40 rounds as fast as I can out of that weapon and 40 rounds as quick as I can out of one of these. And this guy is almost cool to the touch, as where the other profile barrel literally cooked the coating off of the gas tube because it got so hot. This will not get that hot. She also is running the Mission First Tactical low profile foregrip that has a storage compartment inside of it. She is running the Magpul furniture on the rear and standard M1 grip. Standard controls. She is running a couple of UTG risers to get that scope, like I said, a little bit higher for her. That's the benefit of these AR-15 platform rifles, is you can tailor these to you. You can tailor these to what you want out of it. The way you want it to sit, the way the ergonomics want, anything you want, you can make out of these AR-15s, and they're a great option for taking small game, or even in a situation where you have nothing else, larger game. Same thing with the 22. If you hit a deer or any other kind of medium to large game animal in the head with one of these, it's going down. But to move along to the larger caliber, specifically meant for big game and further distance shooting, this is my Mossberg MVP, and it is chambered in 308. Let me see, it is empty. This guy has many benefits. It's a low-cost weapon. These are coming in right at about $5.5, about $550, brand new, and it comes with a straight fluted barrel, again, to dissipate heat. Some of the things I've done to this, well, better yet, we'll stay on the factory features. It has a fluted bolt for a very smooth action. The trigger on these, they actually have a great factory trigger. It's hard to really believe that this is a factory trigger job because of how smooth the break is and how nice it shoots. Josh has shot this one. He can tell you it's got a great trigger on it. I'm running the Harris bipod. This is actually the bipod that goes on my fiance's DMR. I'm running a 20 MOA drop scope mount, as well as the Nikon P series cantilever mounts, and you can see that I have them reversed because I wanted to get that perfect eye relief through my Vortex Crossfire 2. Again, Vortex is my choice of optics. I can't recommend anything else. They're just great for the price point. Yes, you can spend tons of more money and get better quality, but for the price point, Vortex really takes the cake. Another factory feature that's amazing is these things are fed with AR-10 magazines, and there's a couple other weapons that will take, the magazines are accepted, and this is a Magpul PMag 10, and you can see, I'm not going to load one in the chamber, but that seats right in there and releases just as easy. You're not going to be doing too many tactical reloads, but being able to get that higher mag capacity, if your state allows to hunt with a higher mag capacity, that is amazing. And you know, in a bug out situation, mag capacity is not a legal issue. I don't care what anybody says. But these come with the ability to put into custom chassis. There's tons of performance parts out there. The MVPs come in multiple different models. The Patrol, this is the 20-inch Predator. The Patrol is an 18.5-inch threaded barrel with fiber optic sights, same magazine setups, and same bolt and everything. This is my distance big game gun of choice. The .308 caliber is very common. It's a true tested round. There are better rounds out there, but this one seems to be the most available and the most utilitarian as far as I'm concerned. But to move out of the centerfire world, or not really the centerfire world, but out of the bullet projectile world, you have your bird guns. This is my Mossberg 835 Ultimag, and the purpose for this guy is duck hunting and pheasant hunting. I take this thing out into the nastiest of blinds, and it rolls around in the mud. It never has a cycle problem. Pump actions usually don't. You'll see more problems in your semi-autos. Not that semi-autos are not a viable option, because they absolutely are. You can get lubricants that will solve a lot of problems that the that the semi-autos have. I actually have put on a Mossy Oaks graphics, as you guys can see, Mossy Oak there and Mossy Oak there. It is a Mossy Oaks vinyl gun wrap or gun skin, and this thing has performed great so far. It hasn't frayed from the muzzle, as you can see. It's really on there. Really the only way you can get it off is to put a heat gun back to it, and you know, me and a buddy did this in about 25-30 minutes. We had the whole gun covered. Factory, it comes with the Viking furniture, which is just an OD green polymer buttstock and fore-end, but it cycles just fine, and it really does great in the blind. It blends very well. So those are what purpose-built weapons are as far as the firearms world is concerned. Now we get into a much more quiet option. If you're talking about a situation where it's a bug-out situation, archery is going to be my choice. That's why I have them. That's why I practice. Because bullets aren't everywhere. You can make an arrow just about every hardwood. The only problem with that is if you are running a compound like I am, you're going to have problems making your own arrows. I'm going to leave the compound world and I'm going to go into the traditional archery world because it makes it much more utilitarian to be able to make your own arrows, as well as arrowheads and things. I shoot off the arrow. That's why you don't see sights on here, and why you have the Mantis Arms arrow rest. I don't use sights. which is another reason I'm just going to go to traditional archery, because that's more the sense that the style that I'm comfortable with. I'm not the best archer in the world. I'm definitely not the worst. That being said, make sure your bow fits you. I didn't realize how complicated things can get into archery, but your draw length and your arrow weight and everything depends on you personally. So take your bows into an actual professional bow shop, have them tune it to you, if you're going to run with this as a bug out option. But the more advanced archery, and in our state, you can only hunt in close range hunts, or if you're handicapped. My fiance has a phenomenal Wicked Ridge 180-pound draw crossbow. These guys are deadly. If you want to archery hunt out at distances, if you're not Robin Hood, this is how you do it. These things are outrageously effective. They have a pull string latch. As you can see, it hooks right on the string. You put your foot through the stirrup. A really easy cocking. They have an attachment here for a nice arrow holder or scabbard or whatever you want to call it. So you have your arrows on your crossbow. These things are great. They really are. I really wish our state allowed you to hunt a little bit more with them. But that is my definition and my implement of the term purpose-built. All these weapons have a purpose other than defense. So, do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, I think the spread that you have here is a great option for people who are looking at possible purpose-built weapons. So I think that's it.
And always keep in mind, guys, look at your laws. As we just talked about, it's illegal to hunt with this in the state of Idaho. Where we came from in Kentucky, it wasn't. You guys in Indiana, I believe Ohio, Illinois, those states that are too flat for centerfire rifle cartridges, and you have to hunt with 12-gauge slug or shotgun slug, keep that in mind. Don't try to go out and buy this Mossberg MVP if your state won't allow you to hunt with it. What's the point? Unless you're preparing, for a bug out situation, a shit hits fan situation. The Mossberg A35, I have to tell you, slug hunters, you have to buy a slug barrel. The A35 has a 10-gauge barrel, so it cannot shoot slugs through it. Don't try it. You're going to blow your barrel up, possibly hurt yourself or anyone around you. Get the slug barrel. But other 12-gauge shotguns, slugs are just fine. You can hunt with them, just fine out of them. But that's all I have for purpose-built weapons.
All right. Well, again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and have a wonderful rest of your evening.